Hey, what's up? Back here on the Pig Trail with our recruiting insider, Otis Kirk. And Otis has had a very, very busy weekend. Of course, we'll get to Prospect Day in just a bit. But Stewart commits to the Hogs. This is huge. This is a kid who's in-state out of Jonesboro, defensive end, linebacker.
Yeah, about 6'2", 226 pounds. And here's the thing with Jashad. He's got a nose for the football, Drew. He can go get the ball. He had about 96 tackles this year. He's just he's mean on the football field. Great kid off of it, but he's just, I mean, when he gets there, he punishes the ball carriers and stuff, and he can rush the passer. I think he had 7 or 8 sacks. I mean, in several tackles for loss. The kid's just a football player, and to me, he's up there in the battle and consideration for the #1 player in the state of Arkansas. I mean, you've got about 3 or 4 kids. Well, you actually got about 4 kids there that are grouped in together that are definitely be considered for #1 player in the state, and he's one of them. He's just good. I mean, people ask you, what's his strength? Well, he can run, but he's just a football player.
This guy, Traylon Smith, a lot of buzz about him yesterday on campus, and he has committed to the Hogs, and he has those ties where he is coming over from Arizona State.
Yeah, you know, it didn't happen for him at Arizona State for whatever reason. He was hurt, suspended a little bit there, but at Cider Ridge, coming out of high school, he was one of the top players in Texas. He had a very good high school career. He was down in Houston area, and Chad and Traylor and them knew about him there. So, you know, with all the transfers now, everybody's probably confused on this. He's not a grad transfer. He's just a straight transfer. So he'll have to sit out a season and then have 2 years to play. He was at with the Sun Devils for 2 years, and then he'll have sit out this year and then have 2 years to play. So what it does, it gives them another body in practice this fall. You know, people may ask, why would you know, they've got probably enough running backs to get through the season, but it really gives them another running back. And then, you know, if you got Chase, I'm sorry, you got Devwall Whaley's a senior. Rakeem Boyd could go to the NFL after this year with a big season. So you need some more depth at running back, and right now all they had coming in was Amonte Spivey, who's a good player, but they really need another running back in this class.
Right.
And so he's the 28th commitment of sorts, signee in this class. That leaves one scholarship. I really look for that to go to a transfer linebacker.
Yeah,
probably a grad transfer who could play immediately. Linebacker, they do need someone that could come in and play immediately.
Right, especially in the situation where Spivey's coming in, he's a first-year guy. So, again, down the road, looking at depth. Jaron Thompson, he's a 4-star safety. What about him?
Well, you've got Arkansas and LSU and TCU in a battle for him. He had a great visit here yesterday. Really liked the facilities. Wasn't surprised. I mean, the coach at Lufkin. I'm sorry, the coach at Lufkin is familiar with Arkansas, and he had told him some good things about the Razorbacks and stuff about the facility. So he said he wasn't surprised, like a lot of kids from out of state are, but he said everything was great. He loves the coaches. He connected with them, and Arkansas's in his top 3. He's going to take an official visit here this spring, and he is a midterm kid, so he will make a decision before his senior season.
Let's go to the offensive side, because this guy, Jalen Polk, you're talking about guys having Arkansas in their top 3. This guy has Arkansas in his top 3. He's a wideout.
Yeah, teammate of Thompson, and it's Arkansas, Houston, and Baylor with Jalen, and I think Arkansas is the definite leader there. And he's a kid that come in, fits what Coach Stepp, Coach Craddock, Coach Morris are looking for in receivers. Come in and make a quick impact. Gives them some speed out there. You can never get too much speed at that position. But I think Arkansas is in pretty good shape there. And he, like I say, he's from the same high school as Jaron Thompson.
I know you're high on this kid, Tykeus Crawford. Decommitted from Baylor, and he's had several offers since he announced his decommitment, but he was here yesterday.
Yeah, he was here yesterday. He was here earlier for a prospect day in January. This is the kid that Alabama, Georgia, Southern Cal, and some more it's more than that, but those are some of the schools that have come in since he decommitted from Baylor. And he got Arkansas's #1 on his list. He will either announce his final decision on his birthday, which is in 2 weeks, or he will wait till after the season. So we'll have to wait and see on Tykeus. But Arkansas, once again, I don't want to just sound like I'm repeating myself, but they're in good shape they're in really good shape on him. Let me put it that way. I feel real good about Tykeus, and He is going to visit Alabama. I mean, he's got some relatives that want him to visit Alabama, but Arkansas is in good shape there. And I'm going to tell you, they get him. That's the type of offensive lineman you get that plays 3 years, then goes to the league. He's that good. I mean, that's what Coach Fry, you know, is looking at right there. And you got, you know, Coach Traylor's helping him there in East Texas and stuff. That kid's a big-time player.
They like to call East Texas Beast Texas.
They call it Beast Texas, and he's one of the reasons they probably call it that. If you've seen him, he walked out there that first prospect day, the first time I'd ever seen him, and in person.
Yeah.
He'd been to some games, but I hadn't really. I'd seen him, but really not, you know. But he walked out there that night, and I walked up to him, you know, when I saw him down there, you know. You know, but yesterday I saw him again, and he's just, he looked even bigger yesterday. I don't know, man, he does. Yeah, and then, you know, Robert Scott's a kid from Conway that's 6'6", 295 pounds, really blowing up. He got offered yesterday by the Hogs, Drew, and Mississippi State and Missouri have offered him in the last few weeks. Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech had offered him previously, and probably thought, you know, hey, they're getting a big-time kid here. But, you know, like I say, 6'6", 295. He's kind of, he's got some work to do, but he's like a lot of kids that size. You know, he's obviously got some talent. But Arkansas, Missouri, and Mississippi State have all come in recent days. Arkansas yesterday jumped in the mix for him. So.
Yeah. Let's wrap things up with Prospect Day overall yesterday, because I was over there on campus. It was awesome. It just seemed like they were able to generate so much interest from these kids in Prospect Day. One of the biggest and best Prospect Days you've seen. Let's follow up, because you mentioned a couple guys from Memphis who were here.
Yeah.
Other areas you want to point out?
Yeah, Chris Vaughn was here. You had his son, Deuce Vaughn, was here. I got to talk to Chris for a little while. He's a scout with the Cowboys now. Used to be here. And I'll tell you, Chris told me an interesting thing about that day. He told me, he said, these facilities here, he said, I see a lot of facilities being my job with the Cowboys, and these facilities match any of them. So Arkansas, and he knows a lot of the coaches. He knows Coach Traylor, coached with him at Texas. Yeah. Knows Coach Stepp. He mentioned Coach Mark Smith and a couple others, but that he's familiar with. But these guys, yesterday, Haynes King from Longview was up here, big-time quarterback, Drew. I mean, it was just, you got Martavius French, Bryson Eason from Memphis, Whitehaven. Just, you could name it. I mean, any state, or Oklahoma, you know, not just Isaiah Jacobs, but, you know, Dominic Richardson, another outstanding running back from over there, was here. So it was just a day where you just look at it and it makes you appreciate the work these guys are doing. If you're an Arkansas fan, you're sitting out there, you should really appreciate the job these guys are doing, because they're getting kids here. And this is something that's never been done before. It's getting unofficial visitors of the quality from out of state that this staff is getting. You know, Blaine Toll from inside the state was here yesterday. Catrell Wallace didn't make it. He played in a basketball game the other night in the finals, but he'll be here on March the 30th. But yeah, it's amazing the job these guys are doing getting kids here on unofficial business. I've never seen that before. I think there was like 100 kids here yesterday. Yeah. It was, I mean, you go down there, and if they could get 25 commitments from the kids that were here yesterday, you know, I mean, they could have a heck of a class, one of the best classes in SEC. If they could pick the 25 kids they wanted from the visitors yesterday, they'd be one heck of a class. So, I mean, and it wasn't just 2020. It was 2021, 2022. Yeah. You know, the Holloway kid from Dallas Bishop Dunn, Brennan Scott, the linebacker there, they were here yesterday. It was just, I could name kids all day long that were here. It's just like a who's who of high school recruiting, you know, or high school football.
You mentioned Isaiah Jacobs, and you have more on Hogville on that kid, so go and check out Otis's story along with several others. Yeah. Otis working hard for us. Of course, Prospect Day yesterday for Arkansas, as you mentioned, huge day for the Razorback football program, and these kids in general that are looking for scholarships have already been offered several scholarships. We'll talk more about these guys moving forward. That is your Pig Trail Nation report in terms of your recruiting report. Of course, we'll have much more coming up. Track and field national champs on the women's side for Arkansas. Back after this.
Lance Harder's real.